Okay, let's learn together. What did we do? Let me get this towel and wipe and see how we covered it. And we can see now just a little more intention that almost has this at 16 degrees, starting more obtuse, 600 grit, and we're almost at the shoulder. That's the shoulder just right there where you can see the two different grinds coming together. And going, I'm going to skip forward. This is behind the belly. It's covered pretty good. You can see the edge is pretty, just with the first scrubbing in line with the guide rods, which is perfectly fine sharpening stroke. Here we can see a burr sitting on top of it. I didn't even talk about a burr. There's a burr sitting on top of it because I'm not even looking for a burr yet. I'm just doing my first scrubbing so that I can do this and see where it took me. And now I can see that it's matching so well that I'm getting a burr and the bevel. This right here, by the way, I'll discuss that after we turn back. Here's the tip is covered. And let's see if we can go to the other side. I don't know if I wiped the other side yet. Let me see if I can get the tip. I'm already behind the tip, I'm afraid. The tip is still got that little drop of purple on it, and I can see the burr sitting above it. So where the edge would be sharpened, but there's still that little bit out on the tip that I'm missing. And here's coming back. And at this point, with just that first preamble of a scrubbing, I can see it's right in line with the shoulder to line up below it with just a little bit more time and effort. The edge is pretty sharp because it was pretty flat because it was pretty sharp to start with. And we're going to come back and come back to here, and I'm going to pause this a moment. Okay, glad that the pause didn't work because I usually lose it. That funky looking grind is where the gratin and the bevel meet. And from looking at it, the gratins came first, that it was a flat piece of steel, and then they stamped the knife onto the flat piece of steel that already had the gratins. Because they're two in line, otherwise it would have, if a person was making it, you would have thought they would have shaped it around the shape of the knife. This one has nothing to do with the other, so that's where I came with that. So from looking up and down both sides, after all that work, the 600 grit does that kind of cutting with that little bit. Now I have it, what I know now is I got to go out there and spend about 15 or 20 seconds consciously working that tip, and then it's cool with the scrubbing. And now at this point, I look to see is there any place where there's any damage, and then I start with my alternating side edge leading strokes, and I do them to make this scratch pattern even, and that works. First, let me step back. I do my scrubbing to make sure I'm covered. Do the other side, make sure I'm covered. Then I scrub with the intention. This is important. Then I scrub. After the first one lets me see this is it. But then I scrub the whole edge with the intention of drawing a burr. And then I do the other side with the intention of drawing the burr on the other side. Alternating, sneaking up on it so that I know that both sides have apexed It's not like you can, if you choose, work one side and flop over a burr so you know you have it, and then go work the other side and flop it over. The problem is that you want to keep your work even, so you keep your bevels even. When you start, see, when I start to keep the bevels even because I start together. And then I look at how my work is, and right from the beginning, I grow them together instead of, because what happens is you draw a burr on one side and you feel it. When you go like this to knock it off, it doesn't take but a few strokes till you get a false burr. That first burr is a false burr from the second side. You have to keep doing it to get your bevels even and draw the burr. The burr for the whole bevel, not that first false one, which is that first bit of crap going over the top, but not an indication that you've actually done what you're trying to do. So by working both sides and sneaking up on it, you balance that out. Thanks.